Today we're cooking Okinomiyaki, which is a Japanese pancake. Now I prepared some batter already. It's a pretty simple batter. It's just 1 cup of flour, a cup of baking soda, not a quarter of a cup, a quarter of a teaspoon of baking soda, a quarter of a teaspoon of sugar, a quarter of a teaspoon of something else, salt, that's it. But the way you get this interesting texture is by adding something in there. If you really want to go gung-ho, you can use that Japanese mountain yam, but it's really difficult to peel. But another trick is just use silky tofu. So just half a block of silky tofu, but you've got to get the water out of it, so you've got to press it under a few plates for a couple of hours to get the water out of it. And then you just mix it in here. And then to get the ultimate effect, you really need to put it in the fridge for a couple of hours. Or some people would even put it in overnight.
Why?
I don't know. I trust this,
Doesn't know.
I don't know. I just trust this website called Just One Cookbook, because every recipe on her website works really brilliantly. And testimony to her incredible success as a cook on Just One Cookbook is you have to scroll through 1,000 ads and videos and descriptions that you don't really care for to get to the recipe. So clearly she's successful enough, as I have fallen for it, to do all the scrolling to get to the recipe.
What's her name again?
This website's called Just One Cookbook. So I'm a bit of a fan of it. I used to always cook everything from Suji-san's Complete Japanese Cookbook, but I'm moving more towards, I'm going more digital now, moving towards Just One Cookbook, involving lots of scrolling. Now, what are we going to add into this? We're going to add a few things into this. We're going to put in some beni shoga. Now, beni shoga is pickled ginger. Here it is. You've probably had this before. It comes in packets. You get a sort of pink one sometimes with the sushi. This one is bright red. I don't know how they make it different colours. And we need a quarter of a cup of this.
What music are we listening to?
Now, this is Pizzicato 5. It's taken me a long time to get Alexa to learn how to say this, because I kept saying Pizzicato 5, Pizzicato 5, Pizzicato 5, Pizzicato 5, and I finally managed to get to understand me. It's taken me weeks and weeks and weeks. She's such a bitch.
Let's not get into that.
Yes, so it's a quarter of a cup of that. And the other thing we're going to put in here, which gives it another sort of airy texture, is this one. This is tempura chips. You can make them yourself, but no one's going to do that, so you can just buy them at the Japanese supermarket. Little bits of tempura, which have been pre-prepared. So we need half a cup of those into there as well. Like a rice bubble. Can you try one?
What are they made out of?
Oh, they're just made from batter. So it's a deep fried batter. Now, that one's there. Next thing we'll put in there is some eggs. 4, in fact. Maybe I shouldn't have had those 2 cocktails before I started cooking. I almost went the wrong way. It's always a repetitive task that gets you. Right, so we're just going to mix all this up and make this really nice and rich. And the next thing we're going to do after we've done this is add all this cabbage. And I've cut the cabbage beforehand. There's a whole, well, I've got half a cabbage. So it's like 700 gram cabbage. And I've chopped it up quite finely. There's a few things that I had to sort of note about that. One thing is that really hard core in the cabbage. That's not going to be very nice in the pancake, so you've got to cut that out. And I've been making this for 20 years now. What I used to do is I used to get the xylus, this one. My mum bought me about 20 years ago. You go, chop everything into tiny little bits. But my okonomiyaki always tastes like flour. And then my Japanese friends say, oh no, just cut them long strips. And the reason is, if you chop it up really small, every little piece is completely coated in flour, so it just tastes like flour. But if it's long strips, then there's less flour around each piece. Now the next trick is we're going to put this in here. I don't want any of those hard bits. And yeah, I don't want it. But you can't just put it all in, it just doesn't work, so you just got to do it a part at a time.
How come?
I suppose you could maybe just be stirring all night. I'm just doing what she says. She's the master.
Just juice.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Just One Cookbook's her website. She's got a name, but I can't remember what it is. So we're going to. This is a okonomiyaki in Japanese. It means whatever you like fried. So this is always the basic batter that they use, but you'll see we're going to use pork in this one because I don't want my friend here to go into anaphylactic shock. Because seafood's another popular choice. So
This is true.
So you can actually put anything you like into it, and you just put the batter on top. So we're going to use some pork belly, to make the pancake. The method that we're using is the Osaka method. In Hiroshima, they make it quite differently. This one is sort of like a big lump of pancake that we cook in one big batch. In Hiroshima, they make sort of one really thin pancake, like a crepe, and then they put some noodles on top of it, and then they put something else on top of it, and it ends up, really, really high and really tall. And a long time ago, 22 years ago, I was so obsessed with okonomiyaki that I went to Hiroshima just to try their version of okonomiyaki. And I spent a week in Hiroshima, which I'm now calling okonomiyaki, eating okonomiyaki. I didn't go to any single other site. I just went out and ate okonomiyaki all the time. Okonomiyaki is such a thing in Hiroshima. There's actually a shopping mall called Okinomiyaki Moru, which is like mall in Japanese. So there's a shopping mall which only has okonomiyaki restaurants in it. So I had to try them all, and honestly, I really couldn't tell much difference between them, but I love it. Very good with beer. So we just keep mixing this in. I'm sorry I'm never going to get all of this in there, but I'm optimistic.
Yes, it looks a lot.
It does seem a lot. The recipe says one large cabbage, but 700 grams. And I bought half a cabbage at Coles, and that's already 700 grams. So I suspect cabbages in Japan must be very, very small.
Jesus, or just lie to us.
No, it's just pie. Oh God, keep going. Don't want the hard bits. Not that bit. Do you think we're going to make it?
No.
You're doubting?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doubting too, but I'm going to keep going. And that might be enough, mightn't it? What do you think? It's like all the batter seems to be coating things. Well, maybe a few more thin bits. I guess if the first one isn't successful, I can just keep some cabbage, and I can. That didn't survive the 10-second rule.
No.
I can just add some more cabbage to it, but I think this is going to be fine. Okay. So I'm going to start the flame.
Is this like a pancake or something?
It is a pancake.
It doesn't look like pancake to me. Look at that.
Give it a moment to heat up. I'm just going to use a bit of rice bran oil on this. Pasting. I read in the instructions these scan pans are meant to heat up for 3 minutes before you use them. This one I've had for a long time, and clearly I didn't do that, so the oil is burnt into the surface, and the delicate surface that the sweetie spent so long carving has been blocked up. So this will be ready in a moment. I'll keep that on medium. So I'm going to put down the whatever you like component. And because I don't want to be rushing my friend to hospital if I give him seafood, we're just using pork today. I find it most convenient just to get this frozen pork belly because it's been pre-sliced. It's very, very hard to slice fresh pork belly. But these come pre-sliced and you just throw them on. And we cook those first and then we put the pancake on top. We're getting a sizzle?
Slowly.
Yeah, I think there's two there. I want those to separate. I've made this with prawns and squid.
That looks really fatty. A lot of fat on that. Look at that.
It'll render away. Did you say there's a lot of fat on that in a sort of disparaging way?
You know what, we're just part of lockdown, you know, I'm trying to maintain my figure.
Sure. Now you look at this fat and look at your stomach. I mean, there is like, what, 20 grams of fat? Can you tolerate 20 grams for a taste sensation?
Bondi is not going to love me if I've got any.
What, you mean you can't go down to Glamorama?
No.
You go to the Glamorama and people say, oh, where have you been? Did you have pork belly last night? I think you probably had 6 very small slices of pork belly last night. I can see it on you. Okay, that's enough of that. So now I'm going to put in the pancake. This is a Sori Yanagi Tong, Japan's most famous designer. That year that I went, I think it was 1999, that year I went to Hiroshima to eat lots of okonomiyaki. I also went to Osaka, and they have an area not unlike Kapabashi Dori in Tokyo, which only sells cookware, and that's where I bought the equipment in order to cook okonomiyaki, which we'll see in a moment.
Hey, how much are you putting in there?
It's got to be thick. So I'm going to shape it now. These are the tools I bought in Osaka.
So how many pancakes does this mix make?
I think we should get 4. Now, it's about 1 egg in each pancake.
Oh.
In Japan, when you go to restaurants, they often just give you your own little bowl with everything in it, and there's a hot griddle in front of you. You have to cook yourself. First time I went to those places in Japan, of course, I was the white guy. I didn't have a clue. So I just sort of sat there in front of my raw food until someone came and cooked it for me. Didn't have a clue what to do. So that's more the Osaka style. The Hiroshima style of okonomiyaki is so complex that they have to do it for you. And we are doing Osaka style, which is simpler.
I don't think you're going to get 4 out of these, but...
You don't think we're going to get 4? Okay, let's top it up. Now, it's going to be 5 minutes on one side. So, hey Google, set timer 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and that's starting now.
Oh. So, well, here we are for 5 minutes. Will I just stand here like this for a while?
Yeah. Or we can go to commercial.
Suppose I can show people my leisure knife.
Yes. Why not?
Will I get the leisure knife?
Please do.
Let's see. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I just got a shipment from Rakuten Japan. I'm a bit like a Japanese eBay junkie. I just can't stop shopping on Japanese eBay, which is called Rakuten. So these 10-kilo boxes of things that I bought arrived 6 weeks later, and I can't remember what I bought. So one thing I bought this time is the leisure knife with a holster. I mean,
Beautiful.
who can live without a leisure knife? I just don't believe I've been getting through life without it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it is absolutely beautiful. This is made by some family who used to make samurai swords, and now they're making leisure knives.
Wow.
Here it is. Look at this, leisure knife. It comes in a holster. There's some very specific instructions for how you get it out. I think we have to pull it out like this. Look at that.
Look at that. Whoa.
It's got measurements up and down it, so you can see how far you pushed it into someone's flesh.
Maybe put it in the light so they can see it.
Here, it's got a serrated edge on one side and a sharp edge on the other side, and you can see all those measurements, so you know how far you pushed it in. Stylish Japanese characters here with a nice
Really
brand name.
shiny.
Nice wooden handle.
The light is not good, but we can...
Get the idea?
You get the idea, yes.
Well, I think I'm going to post a picture of that. We've got to get this back in the right way. I think I put it in there and push.
Goodbye.
There we go. That's my leisure knife.
It's also handy for walking down King's Cross.
Yeah, it's got a handy. Well, it's actually got a handy holster. I can't quite put it on my pajamas here, but you can hang it on there. So I'm going to check that in because I think needs some work.
Burning.
See it moving. Reduce the heat. Hey Google, how many minutes left on my timer?
T minus 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
We're getting that. Right. 2 minutes. I think it's okay.
I think just right light to us. I don't think that's going to
Yeah, I think we'll turn this over. Okay, we're going to flip. Now, one of the things about flipping, sometimes it falls apart a bit. It doesn't matter because you get a chance to reconstruct. Oh dear.
Wow.
There we go. I don't think it's too bad.
No.
It's the pork. It's all pork fat that gave it that sort of caramelization, I think is the term we'd use.
Burned.
Hey Google. Oh, sorry, what's the word you use?
Nothing.
Hey Google, set timer 5 minutes. Let's say 3.
Second timer for 5
Oh,
minutes.
fuck off. Hey Google.
Now.
Hey Google, cancel all timers. Hey Google, cancel all timers.
No problem. They're both cancelled.
Hey Google, set timer 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Starting now.
Alexa, turn on the cooking light. It's so difficult. It's like raising children. I think next time we do, we might do a slightly lower heat.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I used like 3/4 last time, but I didn't have 2 cocktails last time I cooked this last week. I think your term, the way you described this, is a little unfair. I think
In what
caramelization. Did you say use the word burnt?
I mean, sorry people, look at that. The fumes and smoke and...
You're going to learn. So the magic thing about Okinomiyaki, which you'll learn in a moment, is it doesn't matter if it's burnt. Because of what we're about to do afterwards. We can conceal all the crimes. We're going to do something extraordinary with it. Hey Google, timer status. I'm going to open the window in case the fire alarm goes.
35 seconds remaining.
How many did you say?
35 seconds.
35 seconds, is that all? Cha-cha-cha-cha. This said 35 seconds. Hey Google, timer status. Google, how many minutes left on my timer? Google, if I have to come in there. Hey Google, how many minutes left on my timer?
T minus 40 seconds.
Oh.
40 seconds.
Yes.
We can live with that.
Do you have any words for Jeff Bezos and Bezos in terms of...
You know, I've been using Alexa now for 3 years, Jeff, and
Hell yeah.
yeah, where is the artificial intelligence? Why am I listen to Pizzicato 5 Billy every day. Why am I still saying...
Thank you.
Why am I still saying, Alexa, play Pizzicato 5, and Alexa says, here's a playlist for Patsy Cline. Why does that happen every goddamn day? Is that artificial
Jeff,
intelligence?
when you know better, you gotta do better. Jesus.
So true.
Billions
Hey Google,
of-
stop. Now here's the magic. This is how we deal with the situation which some people have unkindly called burnt.
Jesus.
Plating, right? Step number 2, okonomiyaki sauce.
Where's that from?
Japanese supermarket or
Oh.
Chinese supermarket, quite common. So we're going to spread that on there.
Is that sweet?
You can make it out of Worcestershire sauce and tomato sauce, and soy, I think.
Mm.
So you can actually make it yourself, but it's a lot of effort. Okay, there's that one. So that's that one. That's the okonomiyaki sauce. The next thing we put on is this one. This is aonori, which is it's like the nori seaweed they wrap sushi in. So it's just been powdered. So we're going to put this on next. See what I mean? Burnt. Who cares? Right?
Mm.
And then, of course, is the magical creation
yum.
of the Japanese.
Yes.
Kewpie mayonnaise.
Yes.
Kewpie mayonnaise hides
The
all
best.
crimes,
It does.
including
It does.
burnt.
Burnt.
I had a Japanese friend who would put this directly onto the okonomiyaki sauce, then he'd somehow use that tool to turn it into this unbelievably attractive, wavy pattern. I could never master that.
Wow.
So that's the Kewpie mayonnaise. Next, we're going to put on katsuboshi. Katsuboshi is shaved fish. It's a bonito fish. It's been shaved, just like Yoko Ono's.
How is this processed?
Well, the fish is dried and they have a special fish shaver and they shave it. So you might want to get a close up of this because the pancake's still hot. We'll put this on top of it. And first time I saw this, I thought, my God, what the hell is on my food? What the bloody hell is moving around on top of my food? Personally, I found it quite disturbing.
Beautiful.
We'll finish it off with some spring onions. If I was in Japan, I'd use negi, but
Is it special Japanese scissors or?
well, these are Scampan scissors. The reason I bought them is because when I injured my thumb some time ago, these actually come with a sheath, which is somewhere, and I couldn't go out and eat at restaurants. And my friend said, "No, that's not a problem. Whenever you go out to dinner, just take a pair of scissors with you
Oh yeah,
and cut your food up
yeah.
with scissors with one hand." And what great advice that was. So I have these, and the reason I got them is they got a sheath, which has gone missing somewhere, but it's around. But now I have a new pair. These came in the box as well. These are Japanese scissors. This one can do everything. Just look at all the functions there.
Oh wow.
This pair of scissors can not only cut, it can open cans, it can open bottles, it can crack nuts, it can open... If I didn't have my leisure knife, I think I'd just have this pair of scissors. Oh dear.
God.
So let's deliver this to the table. Over here.
Is that it?